Hello, pure hearts. Welcome. Happy Friday. I decided to make a little short video this evening just to kind of talk about a little bit of what I've been going through while I'm preparing dinner, deveining and peeling shrimp. But, I think these past several years, all of us can probably attest to dealing with a lot of different things. It can range from sadness to heartache to loss of job, loss of work, through the pandemic, and just different loss of loved ones even. I'm gonna talk about something that's a little bit personal, but maybe you can relate to this. I've had my struggles, with, I am someone who is religious and I do believe in God and in my faith. And I think lately I have been testing my faith. I think I've done that a lot, even as a child. But now that I am an adult and a mother, I think the difference now, as I'm working on myself and working through myself, I'm aware that I'm not believing in my faith or giving things to where they need to be, Back to my initial statement, I know we've all gone through so much, and the world has changed over the last 3-4 years now. And for some, their whole family dynamic has changed. Again, with loss of loved ones and people that they are close with. For me, that would be the loss of my mother. It's my mother. I am her firstborn, but I am the oldest of 4. And there's no words to describe that feeling of losing the person that brought you into this world. I'm sure there's some of you out there that can relate. It makes me think of myself as a mother. It makes me wonder, how do my children feel with the loss of their grandmother, them watching me grieve? And sometimes I wonder, through this grieving process, am I creating possible family trauma? Because there is no correct way to grieve, right? There is no correct way you're supposed to feel when you lose someone. We all have different ways of dealing with that. So that's kind of been on my mind. I don't want to say I'm comparing, but I'm thinking of my mother a lot. It's been 2 years now, and it feels like yesterday. And I'm learning, Christina, it's okay to give yourself grace. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to even possibly act out. Just don't stay in it. And today was just one of those days that my faith was tested down to the very last minute. And boy, do I tell you, for a split second, I didn't believe. I didn't think I could come out of it. And time again, the Most High showed me, are you still questioning me? I'm about to make things happen for you. Believe. And don't create any new generational trauma and turmoil in your children because they're watching the way you handle these things. So it's just something for you to think about. Hug on your children. It's something that I say often. I tell my kids, well, the number one thing that I tell them is, and they respond, a genius. And I tell them that all the time. And I also tell them I give free hugs. You don't have to give me a reason to need a hug from me. Just say, Mom, I need a hug, and I'll understand. You know, create that open space. Be conscious and aware of the things that you do. You know, you want to create generational wealth, and that doesn't always mean monetary, but we can get into that another time. You want to create generational wealth over generational hurt and pain. So again, it's just a few things that I've been thinking about, and I just thought I would share because maybe someone out there can relate to me on that feeling and those thoughts. They can relate to me on my grief and my heartbreak. And how am I processing this? How am I going to heal? And also at the same time, be an example to my children and be strong in my faith and don't waver. So I don't know if any of you out there are struggling or have struggled with your thoughts, your feelings, your heart. Those are some of the things that I hope, we can talk about on this page. And again, I'm letting you into my life and my thoughts and my feelings. And I just hope I'm sprinkling that crisp fairy dust along the way and making someone smile, making someone not feel alone. Because maybe you feel the exact same thing I'm speaking of, or maybe you have these questions too. It's just, they randomly come in my head as I'm doing my day-to-day things, caring for my children, my family, and trying my best. But that number one thing I always have to remember, and I want you to remember as well, give yourself grace. Allow yourself time to heal. It is okay if you make a mistake. Did you learn anything from that? What can you possibly do different if it was a mistake? And don't ever put yourself so high in the sky that you forget who made that possible for you. So those are my thoughts for the evening. So I'm gonna get back to my shrimp. We're having shrimp and coconut rice tonight. I might, depending on my mood and how I'm decompressing from my day, might make some curry too, but I'm not sure yet. It's a snow day. I don't know if those of you who come from the 80s and 90s and you recognize the Nickelodeon movie Snow Day. Awesome. It was that movie, the Lizzie McGuire movie, as well as Good Burger. Those were my Nick movies. Oh, and the Rugrats. So that's also something that I do and something that I try to teach my kids. When you're feeling just like you just want to crash into a wall or everything's just falling apart, besides prayer and deep faith, I put on something funny and I go backwards to my childhood and I remember the 5 heartbeats and I'm like, oh, I gotta show them something from back then. You know what? We're gonna have a Family Matters marathon or a Full House marathon, and we're gonna laugh, and they're gonna ask me a ton of questions, and it's gonna remind me of how blessed I am and how okay I'm going to be. And I can't give up now because there's a purpose. And my future purpose is bigger than my present pain. So again, sprinkling that sunshine and that dust on your day. Always think of your aura and how it's presenting you to the world. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful evening and weekend. Those of you who live in the Northeast like I do, stay warm. Stay warm. And enjoy yourself. And give yourself grace. Thank you, pure hearts. Good night.